Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I'm thankful you're here with us. We're taking a journey through church history, and we're in the apostolic history outlined by Marvin Arnold, just going through it piece by piece. Let's see where the church was in the 700s AD. Let's get started. It gives great references. And so by AD 730, great numbers of Arians were immersing into the name Jesus Christ. And they had been doing that for a long time. Like Constantine was baptized in Jesus' name, evidently. Pope Zachary was forced to acknowledge that Christ's baptism was dominant in both Alcuin and Charlemagne. To both Alcuin and Charlemagne. That's according to J.B. Russell, pages 172 to 175. So look at that. You have Bishop of Rome telling Pepin and Charlemagne, or Alcuin and Charlemagne, Jesus' name baptism is predominant. Malcolm Lambert wrote, the accepted baptism of adults, baptism into Christ. That's Lambert, page 62, and H. Daniel Rops, page 110. In 731, Bede found tongue speaking among Indo-European tribes. That's incredible. Lambert, page 62, Rops, 110. And actually, I gave the wrong reference. That's Bede 12, page 15, 16, English history, page 148. Forgive me for that. AD 730 to 790, by reading Russell, pages 172, 175, it's refreshing to find the account of continuing upper room Jerusalemic religion. The Catholic bishops referred to it as idolatrous rites, heresy, and paganism. Oneness preachers were slandered as pseudo-prophets. Pope Zachary ordered Boniface to call a synod to rally Rome's party against holders of Jerusalem's true religion. Catholic clerics in AD 719 to 723 called biblical Acts 2 doctrine a barbarously corrupted Christianity. According to Russell, quote, the majority of Indo-Europeans, fascinated by the spell of their old superstition, meaning Acts 2:38 doctrine, baptized into the name of Christ. That's E.T. Thompson, page 108. So that's true. And Rome was pretty much ransacked in 476 BC, kind of split into two, Rome, Constantinople. And so Catholicism wasn't like the big deal, in a sense, in a lot of the world. Now, it just was a gradual thing. It just gradually happened. And a lot of different rules and things that happen, interdicts, and just Avro Manhattan, the Vatican Billions. If you ever read that, he's a BBC commentator. Just incredible, the amount of wealth and the lands, and then the getting of lands from heretics. It was a pretty amazing thing. So it did happen gradually, and it was in the battles between Central Europe and their kings and the Catholics in the Pope. It's just amazing. AD 754, on June 5th, the foul-mouthed Boniface was killed for his many atrocities against Western European people. And he gives Langer and Locke's as references. In the 8th century, contrary to popular opinion, the Romish party was not the dominant one. It became dominant in Europe only after AD 1233 crusades against the apostolic Albigenses. Blunt, 15 through 18, in Oldenburg, page 262. Probably a lot of truth there. They were around, but dominant. So, no technology, difficult travel, just a lot of things. AD 771, Charlemagne was the emperor. Malachi Martin, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Church, pages 91 to 100, best describes Pope Leo and Charlemagne. It's not a pretty picture. Charlemagne was illiterate, 7 foot, and bullet-headed. To hear Malachi Martin tell it, at any rate, he compelled most to pay tithe into the Vatican. He relentlessly warred against some Western European tribes which held non-Catholic Christianity and sent many to death. He compared to Ferdinand and Isabella, Torquemada, or to Hitler. This is Charlemagne. It's a nuanced view, let's just say. Okay, so Church History, pages 239 and 250 by Locks. We've got Church history, 800 to 900. 800 vain kings like Pepin, Charles Martel, Charlemagne, etc. bowed to popes. William Langer, also O.W. Hike, says this describes the Vatican role with rulers. Papal Rome wallowed in apostasy. Every vice was in the Vatican. Huge land grants were handed to the popes. Billions of dollars in properties were confiscated. See Confiscation by H.C. Lee, 333 to 337. Charlemagne conquered and confiscated for the Vatican. He made about 54 military campaigns against non-Catholic countries, 18 against Saxony alone. Gives references. Charlemagne, Church and State. Man, just remember reading in the Vatican Billions about there was just one place that people, kings, royalty would go and throw jewels, and peasants would go, and it was like filled feet deep, a massive room, and they're in Spain. So they were just like, this is one example of many across Europe. Just talking about enormous wealth. Constantinism merged into coercionism, and Constantinism is coercionism of cruel Charlemagne. He military forced people into Catholicism. In AD 802, Empress Irene deposed. In AD 814, Charlemagne died. 815, at St. Sophia Council was held. Great confusion in Catholic ranks. 842, Emperor Theophilus mass murdered those he alleged to be heretics. Generally in Europe, the Mideast, nearly everyone slandered as a heretic except Jews, Muslims, and Arians. Was oneness apostolic under one name or another. A lot of truth in that, maybe some Nestorians in there. According to Blunt, there were streams of heretics. What Catholics called heretics were often Bible-believing, spirit-filled, fasting, morally clean, good citizens who only wanted to be left alone by Rome. And you have other, histories like the thread of blood or the scarlet trail of blood by Baptists. They have some really great histories. Even of Baptists here in America, Jefferson and Baptist in America, just really in the 1700s. But in the 1600s too, Rhode Island and all this, a lot of oneness. Most nations were non-Catholic. We're going to stop there, and God willing, next week keep going and hopefully complete this incredible journey through church history, one of my favorite subjects. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg. It really is. Cal Bora, Weiser, so many others have keep going on this. So God bless. Thanks for being here. Make sure you're part of the true church. We want everybody to go to heaven. We'll see you. Bye-bye.